listen.
Where the fuck is Kevin?
I am not beholden to you, and you are under no obligation to watch or listen to this review. Whatever judgment you pass on me, you should know I will only hear as the tragic expression of your own unmet needs. So, you're welcome here. You're welcome to what I guess is the only positive review of Saints Row. First of all, a meaningful footnote. I can't talk about bugs. I genuinely didn't encounter any when playing alone. I played the game on PS5 on the PS5 version on day 1. I've completed the entire story and unlocked all the ventures. I'm currently amusing myself doing collectibles, buying stuff from that store where everything costs $1 million, and finishing up a couple ventures that are still not completed. I genuinely didn't experience any game-breaking bugs. I mean, sometimes I had to re-equip my shirt material randomly, but nothing I thought twice about. I did, however, have a nightmare of a time trying to play co-op with a friend who was playing in the same room as me on my PS4 Pro. The co-op was genuinely unplayable. For missions to advance, I kept having to leave their game and come back, and if it wasn't a mission trigger breaking, then one of our interact buttons would frequently stop working. We'd also frequently see the other person in a car when they weren't actually in a car, or they'd be in a different location than they were in my game, and vice versa. So I'll have to say, yes, I hear you. It sounds like the game is just straight up broken for a lot of people, and I hope that gets fixed for sure. But I hope you can hear that that simply was not my primary experience with the game. Okay. All of those caveats out of the way, let me say why I had a blast with this game and why I think ultimately it is a really good game. To me, it's like a build-your-own GTA game. I made a Reddit post where I described it as a game made by gamers for gamers, and despite that not being received very well on Reddit, I still think it's the right word choice. Because notice that I'm accusing the game of being made by gamers. Gamers as opposed to what, you might ask? As opposed to developers, of course. So who do I think is a good example of a quote-unquote developer? Well, folks like Naughty Dog and Rockstar come to mind. Those are straight-up developer machines. Literally the majority of content that a staff member might make on one of those teams doesn't even make it into the game. Huge development houses like that send you off to spend 6 months on a mechanic or story beat or level design that's ultimately just for them to test if they even like that concept enough to put it in the game. I'm not saying that these are flippant choices, but I am saying that it can be wildly discouraging to spend 6 months of your life working on a project that the public doesn't even end up seeing. Ultimately, those kinds of huge content cuts are a product of, say it with me, quality control. And I know that that's what everyone is accusing Saints Row of not having. So I think that's totally valid. So I'm glad that those studios exist, and I'm sure it's really cool to work for them. But I would also almost certainly hate working for them. In my mind, those are the models of quintessential developers. So when I say that a game is made by gamers, hopefully you're starting to put together what I might mean. This game feels like the team just honestly couldn't say no to each other. Maybe that's not true at all of the reality, but it is how I experienced it anyways. Maybe it's just that I can totally imagine myself making this kind of game. The central fun of the game for me is the incredible character customization and the modular nature of the city. It's like a Build-A-Bear, but for your own sandbox GTA game. Because let's be honest, you're barely building those bears too. You literally just pick a bear and stuff it. Yet somehow they stay in business because our little primate brain goes nuts when something feels so personal. The principal flaw of Saints Row, in my opinion, is that its first hour-and-a-half introduction does not sell you on the fun features of the game. The whole thing seems like it's being pitched as a buddy sitcom that you'll be laughing hysterically at, but that's definitely not what it is, not even a little. Now, it may also be worth noting that I've never played the other games, and I've heard about how absurd they are, but I also heard that this remake was going to be less absurd, kind of cool things down. So my experience with the game did meet my expectations with that regard. I'm just an absolute sucker for a good character creator, if I'm honest. I have remade myself and all of my immediate friends in painstaking detail in literally every iteration of The Sims. Yes, even in the first one where you had to make those horrifying stretched skin textures to make it happen at all. Needless to say, when Saints Row released the Boss Factory demo with asymmetrical face options, the literal holy grail of character creators, I knew whoever making this game was my kind of people. So yeah, I was already invested. Does that mean my opinion of the game is skewed because I spent entire weekends trying to make my friends and I in that damn creator? Yes. Yes, it does. Almost certainly. But here's the thing. Who the F cares? Everything in video games is an illusion. You have no choices. You have no freedom. Just accept it. You are playing in order to be duped. That's the whole magic. You do not want to see how the sausage is made. Trust me. Just let the magician do his little tricks and experience the wonder from it. Literally so few things in life actually mean anything to us. So if your little flesh brain starts to really care about something and it's not harming anyone to care about it, then I say just fucking go for it. Maybe consider not shitting on people who have managed to care about something else that you don't. God damn it. Okay, well, yes. So the character creator gave me ample reason to want this game to be good. But I also don't know why we would play a game if we weren't actively hoping it was good, but I digress. My point is, in my mind, this game was about one thing and one thing only: customization. So I slogged through the opening mission. I immediately explored the accessibility options because I do have a bit of a nerve issue in some of my fingers. I customized the time to kill so that I was basically invincible, but the enemies still came in droves and they were really hard to kill and ammo was scarce because I liked being forced to use the melee combat. And I had a really good time. Yes, the whole introduction, I was just waiting for the part where I could place my own buildings in the city. So as soon as I could, I would go place one of those ventures, I would do all of their missions, clear that city block, and get a satisfying map marker to say, hey, you're done here. You own this shit. Now go do something else. Along the way, I'm unlocking crew costumes, so that was awesome. And I'm grateful now seeing everyone walk around in what appears to be giant white vinyl from head to toe because I'm a proper fashionista, I guess. I did have a hard time with the writing and the characters at first, as I've already expressed. And I do think the worst sin of the game is that damn introduction that makes the game feel like it's going to be something that it's not. However, once I started the LARP storyline, the tone of the game really came into focus for me. I realized that if someone ever gave my friends and I that kind of budget and resources to make a game, we'd almost certainly end up making some shit like this. Now, I've made a few tiny projects in Game Maker Studios before, and I've always just made them for my friends and I. The jokes made no sense, nothing ever worked right, but it was cool nonetheless, and none of my friends wrote scathing reviews blasting me for how the story makes no sense and how the bugs ruined it for them. We all knew it just came with the territory and that I was doing my best. For me, personally, when playing through the LARP quest line, that's what landed for me. It was like I was playing a game that my friends had spent years working on. From then on, every joke was honestly funny to me, and the cringe-inducing story beats often got an audible laugh out of me. Now, as I've established, I've never played the other games, and I have exactly zero knowledge about the studio. I have no relationship to them. But somehow I felt like I'd built this damn bear too. So now I don't care if I take the bear home and someone points out that the stitching is really bad. It's my fucking bear and I built it. People seem to think that it's a dig to call something a GTA clone, but my dude, have you ever tried to make a GTA clone? No one tries because it's so dang hard. Just think for half a second about how our ever-loving patron saint CD Projekt Red couldn't even make a solid GTA clone on their first go. You guys, they made the entire Witcher series, the third one included. They run the only DRM-free clients on PC. And they benevolently go through the copyright hellscape of trying to get old games playable on modern hardware. GOG is seriously a godsend. CD Projekt is straight up a group of angels living on Earth. I understand that that's not in vogue to say anymore, just like talking about how I like Saints Row is probably not going to get me any stars, and that's fine. But with all the time and resources in the world, even CD Projekt Red couldn't make a good GTA clone, Not the GTA clone of our dreams, at least. And you're gonna sit here and tell me that I'm wrong? She wore a crown and came down in a bubble, dog. So listen, I think Saints Row is a great game. It's fun to plot down your own little city aspects and snap pictures of little things that you can put in your church. Do I wish they would have doubled down on that? Yes, I do. Do I wish that the introduction would have gotten us to the fun part more quickly? Double yes. So I'm left being that annoying friend who asks you to suffer through the first 2 seasons of their favorite show because it really gets good in the 3rd season. I'm just saying I like the game. Maybe you will too if you have the exact same temperament as me, I guess. If not, then cool. Go play GTA again so that they'll keep re-releasing it for the next 50 years. I'm just saying, maybe stop comparing every space game to No Man's Sky and every city sandbox to GTA. Life is more fun when you actually want to enjoy things. Maybe try it.